I'm glad I looked up there. Cynthia's giving me the thumb up. Am I following my own daily alignment practice, right? So whenever things start to feel wonky or shaky or like they're not working or I'm in confusion or I'm like, I'm like, all right, ho. Where am I in my energy? Energetically, where am I? What energy am I in? And have I gotten away from my own daily alignment practice, right? So getting back into my daily alignment practice over the past couple months has been hugely beneficial for me to stay focused, stay clear, stay confident, stay energetically aligned with what it is that I want. And that also allows more of the abundance, more of the finances, more of the revenue, more of the clients to come in as well. Because when you're feeling confident, when you're feeling clear, when you're feeling grounded, when you're feeling aligned, magnetically, you call more of that to you. Okay. So we're gonna the reason I love the daily alignment practice is it's not just, mindset. There's actually actions in there too. There's actions in here too, so that you are clear about what are you implementing today, not what you might want to implement over the next month, but what action are you going to take today to move the needle forward in the way that matters, right? In the way that matters, so that we don't get distracted by building out another website or creating another offer or changing the font or the color in a hand. Like God knows we can get lost in Canva. Anybody else feel like they can get lost in Canva, right? Or tweaking the messaging 50 times, right? Like at some point we just have to say, you know what, we're going. We got to go. So the daily alignment practice is a way for you to get aligned and understand from the energy that you decide that you want to be in, what is the next best step for you to take today? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share that with you. Let me go ahead and pull it up and I will share my screen with you. No, we don't want to replace that. Hang on. Now I lost it. I gave it to you guys and I can't find it for myself. It's not letting me download it from the chat. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Bear with me. It's not it. Here it is. Okay. Alrighty. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So the daily life, Jessica, did you have a question?
Um, yes, I actually I wanted to say that I went through like all of the potential downloadable things that you have like on Google and all your PDFs all over the place. I printed a number of them out and now I'm kind of like, all right, what am I doing today?
Yes. Oh my God, right? Okay,
I,
well,
I
good.
I'm finding your resources to be extremely valuable. So I guess that's just to say that I'm sure this is going to be amazing as well.
Oh, thank you. That makes my heart happy. Yeah, we can get overwhelmed with information. So, I don't recommend that you download everything and just make a big binder. I do recommend that you create, because then you're like, I don't know, what do I do with it? It's like a giant book, right? Um, what I do recommend though is you can create a folder on your desktop, right? And you can, call it whatever it is that you want, growing my business or the success studio or whatever. And you can, put things in there, file things in there. So the daily alignment practice is geared around the three needle movers that are the most important for us to take action on in our business. How are we bringing new leads into our ecosystem? Client attraction, lead generation. What are we doing to nurture the people that are in our ecosystem already? And then what are we inviting people to? How are we inviting people to work with us? So making sales. So attraction, nurturing, inviting. Those are the three needle movers that you want to focus on every single day. It's also inside of the golden hour handout. And I've got a lot of different examples for actions that fall under client attraction, nurturing, and inviting. Okay. So I just draw this out. Like I have my notebook and I just make a big, triangle. You don't have to print it out if you want. If you want to just print out this page and have a whole bunch of them, amazing. But the first thing that we want to do with our daily alignment practice is ask ourselves, what energy are we choosing to be in today first? Energy first, energy always first. So, what energy do I want to be in today? Do I want to be calm? Do I want to be confident? Do I want to feel spacious? Do I want to feel a sense of relief? Like, what is the energy that I want to be in? Because we get to choose that. The other way that you can look at this, and if you think of this as like a baseball home plate, what is your home base? What does it feel like for you when you are in the energy of abundance? Think about, a time where things were easy, where things were flowing, when a client just reached out, and you're like, oh my gosh, a client just paid me in full. Like, congratulations, Noelle, she just got a pay in full client. Helen Burney yesterday on our cash flow accelerator or our cash infusion got a $2,000 client right on the call yesterday. Like, yeah, I'm telling you, October, November, and December can make up your entire year. And so I want to make sure that you are connected here so that you can call more of this in. So, what is your home base energy of abundance? What does that feel like for you? And it can change on, every day too. Like maybe one day it feels like, well, it just feels calm. Maybe another day it feels spacious. Maybe another day it feels something. Whatever that is for you, you get to tune in and ask yourself, what would it feel like to be in the energy of abundance for me today? And then, whatever that feeling is, and it is a feeling, just write that down. Write that down. Calm, confident, rich, joyful, whatever it is for you, right? So, that is going to be your home base energy. That is the energy that we are intentionally choosing to be in today. Okay. Now we get to also take a look at, all right, from this energy, and let's just say this is an energy of calm. I'm just going to say, I know that abundance comes to me when I'm in an energy of calm, right? Because when I'm stressed out and I'm overwhelmed, I'm automatically in scarcity, right? But I know that when my nervous system is calm, I'm open to receive, opportunities come in. So for me, I'm just going to use the example of calm. When I'm in the energy of calm, then I can take a look and go, okay, so the three things that I know are needle movers in my business are to attract new people into my ecosystem, to nurture them, and to invite people to work with me. Those are the three things that are the non negotiables for me in my business. Every single day, attract, nurture, invite, attract, nurture, and invite. So I ask myself, Chris, if you're in the attraction energy, what would that feel like for you? What would that feel like for you? What energy would I be in if I am in a place where I am naturally attracting people? And what comes to me and what I wrote down this morning is confidence. When I am inviting people into my ecosystem, I'm just in the energy of confidence, right? I'm not in the energy of resistance or force or hustle or overthinking or anything. I'm just in the energy of confidence. Great. So, from that energy of confidence, then, when I'm feeling confident, I can say, okay, well, what are 1 to 3 things that you're going to do today to bring a new client into my ecosystem? What are you going to do today, Chris? Maybe one for me is I created a post and I posted it on Facebook. So, one was a post. Another one could be I am going to say hello to somebody inside, another group and just connect. Another one could be, maybe I am going to make a post later on today and say, hey, who wants my daily alignment practice? I've got a free action guide for you. Comment action or comment alignment if you want it, right? There are a lot of different ideas, but I like to pick 3 actions that I'm going to take to bring somebody new into my ecosystem from the energy of confidence, right? So if I am feeling confident, the confident Chris, and you can ask yourself, the confident Vicky or Noelle or Amanda or Bettina or whatever that energy is for you, what would she do today? What would she do today to attract somebody new into your ecosystem? And just let whatever comes in, comes in. We're just asking our soul, spirit, God, whatever you want to call in, for those divine downloads because we're not trying to force something. We're not trying to fix something that's broken. We're just saying, how could this go today? Hmm. If I'm feeling confident, what would I do? Okay. And then we move into nurture energy. What is the energy that you're in when you are nurturing people? What is the energy that you're in when you're just reaching out to say hello? Maybe it's generosity. For me, it's generosity. When I'm in nurture energy, it's all about generosity. How can I help somebody today? How can I help somebody today? And so, generosity, what are three things that I could do to nurture somebody who is already in my ecosystem? And when I say already in my ecosystem, they're either already on my email list or they're already in my Facebook group or they're already on what I call my yes list, right? So my tracker, right? So is there somebody on my love list that needs some extra love today? And so there's three things. What could I do? What are the three things that I can do from the energy of generosity to nurture somebody who has downloaded my freebie or in my Facebook group? Right? There's no, notice that there are no offers here. I'm not inviting anybody to buy anything yet, right? This is fully in the energy of bringing somebody new in with value and connection, nurturing somebody who's already there. Hey, how are you? And look, it could be a current client, it could be a past client, it could be somebody new. As long as we are taking the actions, what we're creating is that processional effect that allows cool things to happen, right? Because the more value that we put out there in the world, the more comes back to us. And these are the three needle movers that are going to create the 80% of success in your business. And if you focus on taking the actions every single day in each of these categories, you will start making sales in your business consistently and predictably. Okay, so what are three things that you could do to nurture? And so maybe it would be, you know what? I am just going to reach out to, I have three new people who joined my Facebook group. I'm going to reach out to every single one of them and I'm going to say, hi, how are you? I'm so glad you're here. Is there anything that you need? I have a whole resource full. Would love to share, give you value in some way, shape, or form. That would be one way that I could nurture. Okay. There's a lot of different ways. Again, you can go into the golden hour and you can download that document if you are short on ideas. But nurturing is about connection and giving value. Noelle and I, earlier this morning, we were talking about reaching out to past clients just to connect and say, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. Would you like to just hop on a call, and have a coffee chat, right? I've got this really cool new thing that I came up with and, just wanted to, see if you know anybody that this, might serve. And invite them, tell them about that on the call. And then we go to invitation energy, right? So, what energy are you in when you are confidently inviting somebody to work with you? And remember, when you are confidently inviting somebody to work with you, that is actually also an energy of service because you are helping them get the result that they want. So this is not in a scarcity energy, right? An invitation energy is not, oh my gosh, what if they don't like my price? What if they think I'm too much? What if, that is not the energy that you want to be in. I want you to be in an energy that feels good for you to be able to easily and confidently make an invitation to somebody who has already been nurtured to work with you today to work with you today. And if you only make one offer a day, that's 25 to 30 offers every single month. That is going to make a huge difference in your business. Because most of you, if you take a look and ask yourself, how many offers have I actually made this week or even since October, you can probably count on them on a hand. I don't know. Amanda, she's in sales. She runs a sales team. She's probably like, I made 50 already. But this is where you get to ask yourself, what energy would feel good to me to be in when I want to make invitations, right? So instead of, oh my God, I have to make invitations, ask yourself, what is the energy that would feel really good when I'm just naturally making an invitation, right? If I was inviting somebody to a Halloween party, what energy would I be in, right? If I was inviting somebody over for dinner, what energy would I be in? It's that same energy. You are making an invitation to have an experience with somebody. Okay. So when you are inviting people to work with you, the question that I get is, who do I actually invite? You are going to invite the people that are on your yes list. And if you are unsure where to find that, it's inside of the Healthy Sales System, inside of the Success Studio. That is your tracker. where we have your love list of 100. You've got your current clients, you've got your past clients, you've got a tab for collaborations. That is your list that you are going to either reach out and connect and nurture people, or that is the list that you are going to invite people to work with you. That is your warm audience. This is not about trying to, convert a cold lead. Okay. Now, another way that you can also invite would be you could create a post on Facebook and say, "Hey, I've got 3 spots open for, and if you are inviting, somebody into an offer today in this market, I would say let's go with your trust offer, whatever your offer is, that is, priced at that bite size offer, right? So you can invite that way. You could send an email out and say, you know what, I've got this really cool thing. Like Noelle created today, this morning, we created her a 30-day values accelerator. She's super excited about. And she could create a little email and say, I'm so excited. I just created this cool new thing, right? And it's, an easy as price of, right? So we can make invitations and offers personally, voice message. We could send a video. We could send a personal text. We could send, I think I said voice message, right? There's a lot of different ways that we can make invitations. Okay. But what I want you to do before you make the invitation is get clear and aligned for yourself in your own nervous system. What is the energy that you want to be in when you're inviting somebody to work with you? Right? Because people can feel our energy. And if we are in a desperate energy of, oh my God, I got to get a client today because I got a credit card bill that needs to be paid, they're going to feel that. There's going to be a dissonance there. So before we make the invitations, we just to say, what energy do I want to be in today? What would feel really good for me and for them to be in an open, receptive, resonant frequency that is inviting for them to want to work with you? Is this making sense? Is this landing with you guys? Yeah, cool. So that is the way that we want to set ourselves up for success on a daily basis. Now, the rest of this worksheet is just, again, walking you through exactly what I shared with you. It's just kind of giving you the steps, right? Now, the other thing that we can do, step 6 and step 7, is you can put it all together in a statement of alignment. So, for example, if I said that my abundance energy, my home base energy was spacious, and my attraction energy was confident, and my nurture energy was generous, and my invitation energy was just at ease, then I could put it all together with an intention. I am aligned to the energy of abundance today by feeling spacious. I am confident, I am generous, and at ease. So I've taken those energies and I brought them together in one aligned intention. And I can write that down. And anytime I feel off, I get to come back to that. I am aligned to the energy of abundance today by feeling spacious. I am confident, generous, and at ease, right? So that is connecting with and grounding your energy with an affirmation in the present moment right now. Okay. If you want to take it further, you could also then say, what do you declare? What do you want to actually call in today? Right. And this is a way that you can, declare in the present tense of what is it that you would like to receive in the energy of joyful expectation, not in the energy of wanting. That's different. When we are in the energy of wanting, wanting is actually a perpetual state of lack. Wanting is a perpetual state of lack. If you go look it up in the dictionary, it's a perpetual state of not having. So we don't want to be in the wanting energy. We want to be in what I like to call Amazon energy or joyful expectation energy. What do I mean by Amazon energy? Not Amazonian, not like the Wonder Woman, but literally like when you place an order on Amazon, you place the order and you're in joyful expectation that it's on its way. Did anybody worry that it might not get to your house? No, you're like, order's done, on its way. You don't have it physically yet, but you are trusting and in joyful expectation of receiving that new book that you ordered or receiving whatever it is that you ordered. right? You're not worrying or overthinking or in the chaos of our mind, right? So this is the magic. When we are in the energy of joyful expectation, we might not know the exact day and time that this package is going to arrive, but we trust that it is on its way, right? So a way that we can call in what it is that we like is with one of Bob Proctor's great sayings, which is, I am so happy and grateful now that I, and then speak into the present moment. For those of you that were in the, that have joined me inside the 30-day cash infusion, we talked about this. I am so happy and grateful now that I, whatever it is, I've welcomed 10 new people into my Facebook group. I enrolled a new paying client. I sold out my retreat, right? So we are calling, we're like, I am so happy and grateful now that I have. We are in joyful expectation of whatever it is that our desire is. Okay. So that is going to allow us to ask ourselves, okay, well, what do I want? If I'm attracting people, how many new people would I like to bring on my list? I am so happy and grateful now that I actually, invited, welcomed, 3 new people to my Facebook group. I am so happy and excited that I got to share my daily alignment, resource with, 5 new people today. I am so happy and grateful now that, we got a new sponsorship for our retreat, whatever that is, right? You get to decide what that is for you. Okay. And I recommend that you list about, we don't want it to be like 50, right? 3 to 10 desires, right? And then we get to be open to receive them and be on the lookout for them. Be on the lookout for them. This is the language of success. When we are looking for things confidently, they have an opportunity to come. Okay. If we are afraid or worried that they're not coming, that reticular activating part of our brain, the reticular activating system, will start searching out evidence to support that belief. Okay. So this is where your belief plan can come in. Again, if you don't have time to do all of this, don't worry about it. The most important is this top piece, these, attract, nurture, and invite. Okay. But if you find yourself slipping and thinking, this probably isn't going to really happen, then we can, go further into a belief plan. And I like to create a belief plan, which are 3 to 5 beliefs that allow me to believe in the possibility that my desires can be fulfilled. Okay. So we have to support our desires with belief that it's possible. If we don't do that, then our brain, which is 75% wired for negativity, even if we had the best childhood ever, is going to be looking for evidence of why it's not possible. So we have to intentionally set a belief plan for ourselves so that we work with our brain and start creating these new neural pathways. So think about 3 to 5 beliefs that you can put on repeat, that you say to yourself over and over and over and over again, and really feel them, right? The truth is, there are so many people who need what you do right now. So many people. Now is the best time to actually build a health and wellness business. It has never been easier to actually grow an online business. Are you kidding me? You can press a button on your phone and go live and make an offer. Never before in our history, have we had access to people globally to share your message, right? Start creating an evidence plan for this. And by the way, all of that is true. You don't have to pay for Facebook. You've got a phone. You can press a button. You can text somebody at any time. Like, it really, literally has never been easier to be visible to your ideal client and to create income in your business. You don't have to pay for TV ads. You don't have to pay for print ads. You don't have to do all of the crazy stuff that people used to have to do to build and grow a business. Okay? But you have to let yourself believe that that's true. Okay? There are infinite ways to share your value. Work less, make more money, and actually have fun doing it. Clients come to me in so many ways, and they are looking for me. So these are just some of mine. Use them if they resonate with you. If they don't resonate with you, or if they don't feel good to you, don't do it. Pick something else. Pick something else. Okay? But your belief plan is going to be what is going to create your results. And it's what you think about 51% of the time, right? 51% of the time, we want to be thinking the things that are positive and put us in that joyful expectation energy, because that means we are resonant with our desires and we are resonant with the frequency that is going to bring in the clients and the cash, right? 51% of the time, which is actually good news because that means we don't have to be perfect, right? But I highly recommend, if you are having any sort of trouble right now with creating cash or clients in your business, create a belief plan. Chances are, if I was to ask you what you were thinking the majority of the time, it would not be supportive and beneficial. It would probably be on the scarcity uh, component of it. Okay. Jessica, yeah.
I just, with respect to, what was it, the I am magic
Mm-hmm.
one?
Mm-hmm.
I I go back and forth with that, but I'm really feeling it lately.
Good.
I got another text today from a former client who thanked me because while she didn't really feel that she got like singing lessons or whatever, which was is part of what I do. She said she did get them, but really what she was trying to do was solve another problem.
Ah.
And she said that not only was I singing with you, but I found my voice.
Oh, wow. Ooh, I just got chills. Anybody
Yeah.
else feel that? Very cool.
And I was like, this is exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Okay, write that down. That's a golden nugget. That's a chocolate piece. When you hear at words from your client sharing how you've made them feel or what you've helped them with, that gets put on your golden nugget list of I'm going to help you find your voice. Not only am I going to help you sing better, but I'm going to help you feel confident and find your voice again.
It
Ooh,
was beyond that. Like,
yeah,
like knowing her history and like for her to say that meant more than you could possibly
yeah,
without breaking, confidence kind of stuff.
yeah, yeah.
It's not
Beautiful.
your normal situation of finding your voice at all. It
Great.
was profound. And I just
Yeah.
sat in the parking lot and cried today when I read it
Oh,
because I felt so. Sometimes I feel like I'm not on the right path.
yeah.
And then things like this come up
Hmm.
and it just
It's
is,
affirming. You are
yeah,
on the
it's
right
so,
path and you feel purposeful and you feel fulfilled and you're like, yes, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Yeah. So write that down too. Like this is another little, tip that because we do forget the impact that we have on others, right? We're humans. We forget. Maybe we, forgot that somebody shared something so powerful. You can make your own evidence list for the impact that you are having on people so that when you forget, you can go back and go, oh, I'm really feeling low today. Am I really doing like, do I really want to do this anymore? Is this really the right thing? Go back to that evidence list. Oh, that's right. Remember when I helped so and so? Remember when so and so said this? Remember when this person got unstuck with this? Then we remind ourselves of the greater work that we're here to do for sure. So, mindset is the foundation of a successful business. It's the 80% that is going to help us create what it is that we want. And so, your daily alignment practice is that guide for you to align energetically to your own values, to your own intentions and energy that you want to be in, and then take action and implement from that energy, right? So I froze again. So you want to take action from the energy that you yourself are choosing. You don't need to take action from my energy. You get to take it from yours. What feels good to you when you are bringing new people into your ecosystem? When you are feeling confident, when you are feeling free, when you are feeling at peace, right? Because that is going to move the needle forward a whole lot quicker and easier if you even just take 15 to 30 minutes in the morning and add this in. How do you think it would be make a difference if you did this for, let's just say, the next 7 days? What do you think might happen, Amanda?
Yeah, this is really helpful, Chris, because it's just a good reminder. It's funny because it's like I feel like I go in waves and ebbs and flows, and sometimes it's
Mhm.
like oh, I got this all dialed in. And recently, I feel like I've been putting my energy more towards like creation and kind of like
Yeah.
building out a new trust building offer and other things, and that feels juicy and exciting. But what I've realized is I've totally stepped away from even setting an intention around my
Mhm.
energy to nurture and to invite and to attract. So
Yeah.
it's like, well, no wonder that's not happening. Like I've given no focus and no attention to it. So it's like I can just be vulnerable and recognize like I think part of it is it's easier for me to go into creation mode and it feels fun,
Totally.
it feels exciting, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, that's the easy place. It's like easy for me to feel excited about that. But
Yeah.
there's like stickiness here when I just have been letting the loop go of like, the economy may be different now and this and that type of a thing.
Yes. Oh
It's
my
like,
gosh, totally, right? Yeah. And look, we all are. So thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that. We all
yeah.
go in and out of it. I told you I had to come back to mine too, right? We do something for a while and we're like, yay, it's working. And then all of a sudden we get distracted and we do other things. And, alignment is, I want you to think of it like autopilot. For those of you that know about autopilot for airplanes, when it is put on autopilot, it doesn't ever stay on that course like 100%. It veers off to the right and then comes back to center. Autopilot is designed to realign it. And that's why this is called a daily alignment practice so that you can realign as often as needed. But when we are intentional, that means that our day is actually going to go a lot more smoothly because our energy is clear instead of just being blown by the wind or whatever, whether someone says something nice to us or whether the outside circumstances are going the way that we want them to go, right? We are taking back our own power and our own control over our energy, which means we're also taking back our power over time, and we're taking back our power over money, and we're taking back our power over our own responsibility in the actions that are going to create the success in our business.
Well, and I think for me, one of the biggest hangups in the past, and I've continued to work on as a work in progress, is when I have clarity of the action, is then getting into attachment energy, attachment to the results. And it's like if the
Yeah.
results don't happen, then it's like it feels really draining. So
Yeah.
do you have any other like, I mean, obviously really kind of thinking about that
Hmm.
energy of calm or that energy of
Yeah.
generosity can be helpful. But I'm like, do you have any like recommendations or suggestions about how to catch yourself or how to notice,
Yeah.
release the
Yeah.
attachment piece?
Yeah. So that's when we come back to our home base energy, right? Because when we are attached, it probably is not going to feel like abundance. Right? It's going to feel like we're scarce. It's going to feel like we're worried. It's going to feel like, oh my gosh, but this didn't happen again, right? That's probably not going to match your home base energy of abundance. So we just get to remind ourselves, oh yeah, I get to come back to my home base energy of abundance, right? And remind ourselves, and this is where, your belief plan, read your belief plan
Mhm.
again, right? You know, there are so many people here for me. I get to be in the energy of joyful expectation. There's also divine timing, that happens. But what is creating results is what am I focusing on, right? 51% of the time. So I just also ask myself, Chris, what energy are you in right now? If you are attached to an outcome, what energy are you in? And so that will
Right.
help me kind of shift just by asking myself that question. Am I in abundance energy or am I in attachment energy? Am I in calm confidence energy or am I in scarcity? So it's just that awareness. It's going to happen. Look, we are going to come out of alignment all the time. We're human. We have human brains. That's what our brain is designed to do, is to be on the lookout for the things that could go wrong. Okay. And if something doesn't happen quick enough, we can either stay focused on all of the reasons why it's not happening quick enough and how it sucks that it's not happening quick enough, or, all of the things, or we can shift and get back on the abundance train and say, I trust, right? I trust I'm going to get back into the abundance energy. How can I get back in there? And whatever that is for you, right? For me, I love getting outside. in nature. Maybe it means I take my shoes off and I go sit underneath my willow tree. Maybe it's I remember my son Gabe, who whenever he comes home, I always get the biggest Gabe hug ever, and I missed you, mommy. I'm so glad. I love you so much, mommy. You're the best mommy ever. Like those are things that help. But also the last thing on the handout is gratitude. Gratitude. We cannot be in gratitude and scarcity at the same time. We can't. Yeah. Kristen, did you want to share?
I just want to say thank you.
Oh,
This is really helpful talking through it because I have it printed and, so this is just really helpful. And I love the structure because I do a lot of energy alignment work anyway, emotional and all, right? And I don't always transfer it with everything else that I do,
yeah.
particularly the things that I don't necessarily feel confident in or willing to get uncomfortable about, and all of that. So this is just so helpful for us. Thanks.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, it's like we know. We're like, well, you're not telling me anything I don't know. Like I know this is like law of attraction and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, are we doing it? Are we doing it? Right? We can know it and still not do it. So this is just a reminder. This is why I wanted to walk you through it, that we get to come back. If you're not doing it, don't worry about it. We get to take 100% responsibility without guilt, without blame. We don't need to guilt ourselves into action. We don't need to blame all of the reasons why we're not doing it. Just let it go and we just get to start new. We just start today. Start after the call if you want. Bettina, yeah,
So, Chris, I've had a situation, and maybe you can help me with this.
sure.
How I can get better of catching myself in the moment and not letting these destructive thoughts of, scarcity and fear of not getting the client go
Hmm.
on for hours and hours and hours. And
Yeah.
just right now, when you said, well, the thought of, oh no, this is happening again, right? Because that's what I was thinking today. I was thinking today because I had a really good call with a client a few days ago, and we were going to um, touch base yesterday, and she was going to tell me her decision. And so I followed up with her as we discussed. And again, she ghosted me. So she didn't reply.
Hmm.
And I was so sure she was gonna let me know at least because she asked the question in the meantime, and she said, "Well, like we're really considering working with you." And I was just like so really very disappointed and be like, "No, not
Hmm.
again. This
Yeah.
isn't happening again. This time
Yeah.
I was so sure it wasn't going to happen again."
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So, and this, all day long, basically, I was just
Hmm.
in this spiral and
Hmm.
working myself up over this again.
Yes.
So how can I interrupt this pattern and
Hmm.
really also recognize the pattern as soon as it happens, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a minute later or 5 minutes later, but not like 3 hours later.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So first, I just want to say it's normal and it's part of your brain doing what it needs to do to keep you safe and to keep you protected. So we don't need to make it wrong that it's happening. So one of the things that I do is I'm like, oh, there it is. Of course it's going to be there. Of course you're going to be here. Of course you're going to worry about this. And where do I want to focus my energy? Do I want to stay in this energy? What is predictable to happen if I stay here and worry? Because the truth is, we get to choose. Bettina, you get to choose whether you stay there and let it ruminate, or if you do something different to create what we call a state change, right? And that's going to be different for everybody. By the way, for those of you that don't know Vicky Furman, Vicky, raise your hand for me. She is one of my success coaches inside Activate Abundance Academy. She does somatic work to also help you figure out what's going on in your body that is creating that fear, right? Because when our nervous system is all locked up, right, it is hard to just say, oh, well, just think a happy thought, right? Oh, just think a happy thought, right? No, but first we get to acknowledge it, Bettina, and put a little bit of love around it, right? And be like, okay, of course you're there. Of course you're worried about it. Of course you are. Of course you are. Like that's normal. Now we're calming, right? Now we're like, okay, whew, normal, nothing going wrong here. There's nothing broken. My brain is doing what it's supposed to do. Okay. So we can at least calm our nervous system a little bit. And then we can ask ourselves, okay, what would I like to feel instead? What would I like to feel instead? Right? I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling worry. I'm feeling contracted. I'm feeling, notice, you can even notice like what does it feel like in your body? Maybe it's feeling tight. Maybe you're feeling it in your chest, right? But then I ask myself, Chris, what do you want to feel instead? If you could choose anything, what would you want to feel instead? And what would that feel like in your body? Well, I would want to feel calm and I would want to feel like it's not a big thing. Like it's just a like there's another client right around the corner or whatever, right? And then we get to case build for the way that we want to feel because our thoughts are creating our feelings. It's not the other way around. Our thoughts are creating our feelings. So we have to intentionally ask ourselves, if I want to feel calm, what are some thoughts that I can think that are going to help me feel a sense of calm, help me feel a sense of peace, help me feel a sense of safety, whatever that is. And then we can go do that, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to change anything that's happening in your business. It might mean that you go, give your kid a hug. It might mean that you just get it out of your head. That's another thing that I like to do. I'll give you several different techniques that I use. I write it all down and I get it on paper so that I can look at it because the moment you write something down, you're using a different part of your brain. You're getting out of the emotional brain and you're getting into the prefrontal cortex, which is the logical brain. And by intentionally writing it down, you are actually shifting, creating a state change by doing that. I write it down and then I take a look at it and I underline all of the things that are facts. All of the things that are facts. And I'll tell you, most of them are not facts. Most of them are thoughts. And I get to see, oh, gosh, you know what? Most of these are just thoughts. Huh. So, how could I rewrite this to feel differently? Right. And remember, a thought is something that, is different for everybody. Right. A fact is something that's true for everybody. A fact is something that can be upheld in a court of law. If you were in a court of law, Bettina, and we said, Bettina, are you 1000% confident that this person is a no to work with you? We really can't say that because she didn't say no yet, right? Like we don't know. We don't know, right? So that is actually just a thought that she doesn't want to work with us or that she's ghosted us. What else could be true? There's a whole bunch of other things that could happen. She could have gotten in a car accident. She could have had a problem with her family. She could have there are a gazillion different options that could be true, right? So we get to choose which one we want to go with. If we're going to make up a story, let's make up one that feels good. Like seriously, we don't have to pick the stories that make us feel like shit. Let's pick it. If we're going to make up a damn story, let's make up one that makes us feel better, right? Because it's a story anyways. It's a thought anyways. So pick one that makes you feel better. Oh, she just forgot. Huh, she just forgot. Not a big deal. I know she really wanted to work with me. She was really, really excited. She just forgot. Does that feel different when we just allow ourselves to have that breathing space? But we have to kind of uncover that gremlin that is whispering in our ears. And the best way to do that is to get it down on paper and to differentiate between thoughts and facts. Thoughts and facts. Because we can't change the facts, right? I can't change whether it's raining outside, right? And I'm not in control of whether she says yes or no. Like once she says no, great, we're done. Closure there. Or when she says yes, great, done. Closure there. But either way, I don't have control over it. I can't hop inside her body and say yes, right? But what I know for sure is that if we stay in the fear energy, we will create more of that. We will create more resonance for that. It doesn't mean that we're going to create it right now and today. It's just that whatever result we are getting physically, what we're manifesting physically, is actually based on the energy that we have been in the past. Okay. So even though it happened again, our brain is either looking at the past to say, oh, that happened before, so it probably happened again. And then we worry about what's going to happen in the future, right? So gratitude is another thing, right? That brings us back into the present moment. But where can I feel safe and calm today? Do I have enough food today? Do I have enough money in my bank account today? Are my kids healthy today? Are my kids healthy today? Like, do I have fresh water? Yeah. Do I have all of my loved ones? I mean, my gosh, the hostages got released. I am so darn excited, right? Like, I am so grateful, happy, and grateful that my boys don't have to experience that, right? So, what can we bring our focus and gratitude back to? Because when we're in gratitude, we automatically feel calm and safe. Yeah, infinite possibility. There is infinite possibility. Yeah. Bettina, is that helpful at all?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Good, yeah. And look, it is a practice, right? That's why it's called daily alignment practice, right? Mindset practice, right? I wish it was like a light switch. I wish I could just like turn the light switch on or off. It's not. It is a muscle. But what you'll find, Bettina, is that you will stay in those low areas a lot shorter and you'll recognize them sooner because you'll also recognize what's happening in your body, right? Anytime I feel a sense of contraction in my body, I instantly know that my emotional GPS system is telling me that I just thought something that was out of alignment for my truth. I might not even know what it is, but I'm like, oh, I just thought something that created, a misalignment for me. Okay. And I don't really go back. I don't have to process my past childhood trauma or all of the reasons why, I'm feeling abandoned because my dad left when I was 6 years old. And like, I don't need to go into that. I just get to say, what do I want to feel today? What do I want to feel today? What do I want to feel today? Yeah. And we keep coming back to it. And then it's a muscle, right? Just like lifting weights, right? The more we lift the weights, the more reps we do, the easier it becomes, the more natural it becomes, and it becomes more habit. So I would love to just invite you guys to definitely, if it feels good to you, to take this on as a practice, for the next 7 to 30 days. It is going to shift things radically. I'm confident that it will shift things radically because so when you think differently, you feel differently, and you take actions differently, right? Our thoughts create feelings, contraction, expansion, right? Reaction, inaction, right? Which then leads to our results. Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of nodding heads today. I'm so glad that I'm doing this with you guys today. Cool, cool. Yeah, Jessica. Yay, I love the hearts. Thank you, Cynthia.
Can you pop it in the chat again? Because I had to
Mhm.
get out for 1 second. Something with my phone.
Sure.
I came back and I couldn't get it again.
No problem. Let me pull it up. Oh, here it is. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Yep, there you go. So the key with our daily alignment is creating the space to intentionally choose, picking the actions that feel good for us, creating a belief plan. And look, you don't have to create a different belief plan every day. You could create one for the whole week, right? If you want, that you come back to over and over and over again. But the key is that we have to feel it, right? We have to feel it. We want it to feel because the feeling is the energetic resonance. The feeling is what brings things to us. Our thoughts go out into the world and our feelings magnetize things to us. Thoughts go out, feelings draw in. Thoughts go out, feelings go in. Okay? So we just get to honor that. We get to honor our feelings too. And we also get to, honor that scared part of us that's like, oh shit, not this again. Yeah, right. Of course. Of course my brain is going to do that. It happened before. Of course it's going to be looking out for that. Of course it wants to keep me safe. And yet me staying there isn't going to do anything different. Oh, look at that, Lorene. Great. On Friday, she reached out to a past client, a quick message that you were praying for her, and she responded and wants to get started with sessions again. You start on Thursday. Oh my God, another abundance. You guys, abundance is everywhere, you guys. Infinite possibilities. Yes. Oh my gosh. Congratulations, Lorene. I'm so excited. Yeah. By the way, for those of you that do want to join us inside of the 30-day Cash Infusion Accelerator, you are still welcome to join. You can get the call recording from yesterday. You can just let me know if you want to join in there, and you're welcome to join us inside there if you want to. So, what is one thing that you're taking away today? Just one thing that you're going to solidify from our daily alignment practice training today. And you are so welcome, Kristen. I'm so glad this resonates. And you can either come off mute or you can pop it in the chat, whatever feels good to you. Structure and consistency, right? Yeah, that consistency over a period of time is what's doing the reps. Yeah. And structure so you know what to do, when to do it. Yeah, that's why I wanted to put to activate a daily practice. Yeah, daily, not every once in a while practice, but a daily practice. Yeah. And beautiful. Add energetic alignment for 3 energies: attract, nurture, and invite. Yeah. And so I'm like, oh my God, I got to attract people today. I got to invite somebody to work with me today. Ah, what kind of energy is that? That doesn't feel joyful, that you really need to start doing this. Yeah. Great. I'm so glad, Bettina. I'm so glad. Yeah. This will shift things. This will move things. It absolutely will. I'm confident because I do it myself and I see it move things for me. It moves things for my clients. It opens up opportunities that you can't see when you're in fear, right? And Amanda and I both worked for Fabian Fredrickson. Abundance is an opportunities not yet actioned. Abundance is an opportunities not yet actioned. When we're feeling calm and confident, we get new ideas, right? We get that idea of, oh, I just need to reach out to that person and let her know that I'm praying for her. Well, oh my gosh. And then she wants to start again. You've got a new client, right? Those ideas don't come in when we've got a death grip on the outcome, right? Like Amanda was talking about, or when we are in the fear mode of, oh my God, this shit is going down again, right? So we do have to, thank it for wanting to keep us safe, but we do have to intentionally choose to shift it. And the only person that can do that is ourselves, right? It's where we get to just take responsibility for deciding how we want to feel differently. And this is us intentionally choosing how we want to think, right? So this isn't me telling you what to think. This is you helping you uncover how to think differently so that you're creating different results in your life or in your business. Yeah. First thing in the morning, being in alignment with how I want to feel and operate from there. Yeah, it makes such a difference, right? And it's simple, but yet we don't do it. Me included. Me included. I get off track too. Yeah. So who's a yes? Put a big Y in the chat if you are a yes for doing this with me for the next 30 days. I'm taking it on for 30 days. Yay. Yes, awesome. So let's create some accountability. How about if I do like a daily post in our Mighty Networks group in the Success Studio, right? And you can just I'll put, just pop a big yes or something when you've completed your daily alignment practice or something. That way we can cheer each other on. We can know that all of our collective energies are working together, right? If you get stuck or if slide into that black hole of fear and doubt, we got you. Think of this as like a cocoon where we're just going to like beam some extra love your way. Yeah. Cool. Bye, Amanda. All right, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you inside of the Success Studio next week. Next Tuesday at 12 is our Q&A call. Okay. So if you have any questions around your business, around attract, nurture, and invite, around lead gen or sales, bring them. And then the week after that, we have a brand new call for you guys, which is our collaboration and networking call. So 12 o'clock, come here. We're going to do a couple different breakout rooms so you can connect with each other, hear what each other is doing, bring each other into each other's communities, really create the abundance that is available for us when we collectively love on and support each other. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, ladies, I will see you next week. Bye.